in my industry, there are a lot of assumptions and stereotypes. Like, moms love to drink wine. I'll tell you right now, this mom does not.
Welcome to Breaking Down Your Business, episode 354. 355. It's 355.
You can't read numbers now.
No, I just can't remember numbers.
This is a good start, Brad.
If you want the show notes of this episode, go to breakingdownyourbusiness.com/355.
I can't believe he's checking his notes for two numbers.
Jill,
Unreal.
they're all kind of the same. Last time was 354. This is 355. Next will be 356.
I really hope you're better with math than you are.
This month, we're talking about generating more leads. And today, we're specifically looking at partnering with other businesses as a way to generate more leads.
Are we?
Sort of like how Anchor Advisors, that's me, I'm Brad from Anchor Advisors, partners with the Founding Moms.
I'm Jill from the Founding Moms.
To help each other.
And to make podcasts? Is that what we're talking about?
Sure.
Everybody go find a podcast.
No, that's
partner.
not what we're doing.
No.
Okay. So I'll give you an example. of what I'm talking about. I had a client, and this is weird business, but he did consulting to help.
I hope he's not listening.
He probably isn't. I'll explain why in a minute.
Okay.
He had a consulting business helping IT departments with governance. Like, what kind of rules do they have about what people could do and what projects and whatever.
Governance.
And so, governance, exactly. So he worked with IT departments on governance, and it was this weird thing that like nobody really understood, and it was hard for him to generate leads. And then came this company that created a software product to help IT departments to manage their governance structures.
Uh-oh.
No, it was
competition
amazing.
for him.
Except high tides, all boats rise. Nobody even knew what this thing was. So now there's software out there to do it. And he came to me, he's like, Brad, they want me to like do webinars for them and like, speak at their conference.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to become beholden to like one software product.
Oh.
I want to be more independent. And I said to him, Mike, do you like money? Because this is gold right here, right? They are going to pay to promote your business, and their budgets are way bigger than yours. And so go do their webinars and, make friends with all their salespeople, because you know what they're going to need in order to sell their software is someone to teach people how to do IT governance.
Guru.
Right.
Yeah.
And so his business over the next couple of years became implementing that software. I mean, that became the main product that his business sells. And 10 years later, he sold his company to that software company for $50 million.
Stop it.
I am not exaggerating.
Get out of town.
Absolutely true.
I'm still waiting to hear why he wouldn't listen to this.
Because he has $50 million. What's he doing listening to our podcast?
People with $50 million can still listen to the podcast.
Maybe, okay, sure.
Good for Mike.
It was really good for Mike. It was a really good day for Mike.
Yeah, it sure was.
So after we got a quick break here, and then we're going to come back and talk about partnerships.
Shout
but
out to
first,
Mike. Okay.
Let's hear from our friends at Comply Right.
Yes.
So Jill, how much do you know about employment law?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You went to law school, you know nothing about employment law.
I know nothing about employment law.
How are small business owners supposed to figure out employment law if they didn't even go to law school?
Thankfully, we have an incredible sponsor called Comply Right.
Comply Right?
That's offering a 6-course freebie to educate you on employment stuff regarding your business. I know. So if you're a business owner, chances are you're juggling many HR tasks and you're trying to keep up with the ever-changing employment laws. They're changing all the time.
Yep.
HR 101 from Comply Right is a free online training program that'll give you a solid understanding of employment law so you can handle typical workplace issues like a pro.
This is completely free?
Yeah. I'm just going to list to you some of the courses that they offer. General legal obligation for employers.
Important.
Recruiting and hiring.
Hard.
Classifying workers correctly.
Complicated.
Yeah. Managing your employees. Preventing
Tricky.
workplace harassment.
Yikes.
And discipline and termination. So I'm going to send you to complyright.com/courses. It's totally free. Go there right now. Do the thing.
Wow. So Jill, we were talking about how when you find someone whose customers are your customers and who doesn't really compete with you, sometimes the two of you can partner, or 3 or 4, to create opportunities for each other where you're selling their products and they're selling your products.
I think that always sounds really easy and is really actually very hard to do.
So what do you mean by that? Because I think it's kind of easy.
I think when you say find somebody whose audience is my audience, I think everyone goes to the place that Mike went to. Well, I don't want to. I want to be the only one in my universe who's doing that thing.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of fighting about it with yourself.
Okay.
There's also, sometimes it's really hard to think as the founder. You're so inside your business. Who am I going to go
true.
and
That's
ask?
totally true.
Because I've had the most bizarre partners for the founding moms, including you. And I'm being honest. And I don't think I ever would have sat down and been like, Brad Ferris, Anger Advisors. You don't sell to mom entrepreneurs specifically.
I don't sell to mom entrepreneurs.
Right, except that we've had many a beautiful partnership for the founding moms.
Yeah.
And I don't, it's funny what comes of it.
So let me ask you some questions and see if it prompts anything for you.
Uh-oh.
So what is happening in that mom entrepreneur's life where she says, I need a group of people to give me some accountability and direction?
I think of somebody who might be able to provide accountability and direction. Am I getting this wrong? What's happening?
Yeah, you're getting it wrong. What else is going on? What like people aren't kind of going through their life and all of a sudden think, I need accountability and direction.
Oh.
There's usually some kind of precipitating event.
Sure.
What is the precipitating event?
She's not getting her stuff done.
Okay. And somebody says,
man, this leading thing isn't really working. Where are you going with this?
I'm asking a real question.
You're legitimately asking.
What is it? What's going on?
She's behind all the time.
Right. And she's frustrated.
She's super exhausted and frustrated and knows she needs somebody to help her.
In that moment, she's going to pick up the phone and call someone. Who's she going to call?
Absolutely not. She's probably too exhausted and overwhelmed. But if she's going to call somebody, I don't know who she's going to call.
She's going to call her accountant, or she's going to call
I'm
lawyer.
so sorry. I thought you said accountability. And that to me is a whole different ballgame.
But who's she going to call to say, hey, I'm not making progress in my business. What should I do? Where would she go to get that advice?
She would call a coach. She would call a consultant.
Okay.
She could call her lawyer. She could call her accountant.
So those are all potential partners for you.
Totally. Absolutely. Except
and
that doesn't always ring true. And you know what? I might be biased. In my industry, there are a lot of assumptions and stereotypes. Like, moms love to drink wine. I'll tell you right now, this mom does not. But
it's true. I've never seen you drink wine.
Right. I hate wine. But there are so many moms who apparently love to drink wine, says Facebook and every other article in the world, that, that's literally, as the founder of a company doing this for a decade, that's a place I go to, which I find ridiculous.
But you have an audience. You can actually ask them.
I do.
Right.
I do. I'm just saying that I understand over the years.
Another question,
it's really hard.
Another question that can prompt people to think about who those partners are.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a mom entrepreneur who's working solo. Maybe it's my client base who is running a business. It's $1 million, but they're also not making progress and they're feeling frustrated. Another way to ask that question is, who is in the room when that business owner says, I just need some help. I need a different way to do this. I need a different way to look at this, right? There are people who are witnessing that event.
Yes.
Those are potential partners.
They are. There are also, I think, I'm saying this because there are so many partnership opportunities in the world.
Yes.
But a lot of people don't go after them because they cut themselves off with, it's not going to work, or even, they're not going to like my business, we're not big enough yet. There's all kinds of reasons people find to take themselves out of it. I find that to be fascinating.
So another couple of thought starters, like really great partners that I've seen, all operate around the same kind of events. So, for instance, when a business moves,
right,
they need a mover, and they need a realtor, and they need phones, and they need carpet, and they need, so there's a whole bunch of things that people need at that same time.
Yes.
What else are people buying at the same time as they're buying your services? And I don't mean you in particular, but for the audience to listen to that.
Got it.
Another thing that, going back to my client story at the beginning, software companies are great to partner with.
They're really fun because they are very familiar with the partnership thing. And they want to sponsor. They want to partner.
They want to pay you for referrals.
Yeah.
And they have a budget, and they're looking for content. They're happy to host you on their blog or on their webinar or on their podcast or whatever it is that they have.
Hot tip, if you go to producthunt.com, they have not paid me to say this, but I love them so much. You can just sort of scour every tool recommended on their site.
True.
And think of who would align with your customers.
That's a great idea.
Bingo, just pitch them. They're great. They're great. It's a great resource.
It's super true. So a great way to get lead generation is to find other people who are looking for the same type of people that you're looking for. And then once you find that partnership, what kind of opportunities do you propose to them, Jill? What are you suggesting?
Can I laugh that I'm now Jim? You can only call me Jim for the rest of the episode. You can propose so many things. It's crazy. You can go from, think of the little things you have going on, like you might have a blog. You might have an email newsletter.
Sure.
You might have a social media account or two.
They might have any of those things also.
And you can barter. You can partner. You can get paid to feature them there. Those, in my mind, are the smaller opportunities.
But similarly, you can say, hey, I'll put you in my newsletter. You put me in your newsletter, right?
That's the barter thing.
I'll get on your blog. You get on my blog.
Yeah. And then you can move to the bigger things. Like, hey, we're going to carry you around, brand, and we're going to talk about you to our customers and clients for 6 months in these many different ways. If you host webinars, if you want to slap a banner on your car. There's so many places to go that I think you need to make a list where the sky is the limit. And you can go bananas before you present it to them, whittle it down, put together 3 packages if you want to.
See, and you're looking at this more like a sponsorship opportunity, which I know is the
only difference to me between partnership and sponsorship is sponsorship, they're just going to pay you a fee, you do your thing, and everybody's happy. Partnership is you're both
partnerships are reciprocal, right?
Yeah.
And in my experience with my business,
the line is very blurred often.
It's true, but I would say for my business, I have made more money when it's reciprocal. When they can give me leads and I can give them leads. Those are the ones that last, that we each care about staying in this relationship.
And my take on sponsorships is that's supposed to be the idea. It's reciprocal because if you pay me a lot of money for access to my customers, clients, then my customers and clients will all pay attention to you and you'll be gaining a lot from them. So in theory, that's also reciprocal. I think it's just a different format.
For sure, yeah. So also thinking about maybe there are people in other geographies who actually do the same thing that you do, but might generate leads in your geography, and you might have leads in their geography.
Yes, send me your people.
Another great one that has worked for me is to find people that are further up the food chain, so that like my engagements are so small that they wouldn't want them. And vice versa, I don't want to do the bigger engagements that they're doing. And so they'll send me their leads that are too small, and I'll send them my leads that are too big.
Love that. Yep.
So there's lots of ways that we can develop these partnerships to make lead generation a lot easier, where we're not...
Totally and completely. I think that the one thing to remember is there are no rules around this.
Yes.
You can create whatever you want, and a lot of people don't take advantage of the freedom that there is in a partnership. And when you propose... whatever you're going to propose to the proposing party, I don't know how to say that, they are going to make their own list, and some of their list is going to be very inspiring to you, or, oh my God, I never would have thought of that. And the partnership ends up being a beautiful partnership.
It's true. Now, I will say, in my experience, not every partnership works.
I was going to say, rarely do I have an experience where a partnership doesn't work.
I would say 1 out of 5 that they work.
What do you mean by doesn't? Oh, no, I have... They usually do work, in my experience. Why don't they for you?
Because they don't end up not being very reciprocal. Like, I send a lot of leads to them, and they don't send a lot of leads to me, or vice versa. Oh. You know, so it works in that, you know, one side is happy, but to have something that's well balanced. And if it gets out of balance, then you go to more of the sponsorship model. Like, I'm generating a lot of leads for you.
So I think that's a shift in expectation, because I think a lot of people end up partnering and assuming they have a list of, I don't know, 5,000 clients.
Oh, this is
I have
a
a list of
lesson
5,000, and we're both going to, it's just going to be completely equal the whole time. And I think a really good partnership is to discuss that stuff at the head.
Absolutely.
So that it's a smooth ride. And you can say, look, my list is not nearly as big as yours, but I'm going to send you quality.
Right.
Etc. Yeah.
So partners.
Partners. We're shaking hands?
Right.
They can't see this.
We're making a partnership.
Oh.
We crushed it.
We did.